在15世纪哥伦布发现北美新大陆后，欧洲各国纷纷组成各式各样的船队，想要登上这块鲜为人知的陆地，获得丰富的资源，但是都不太顺利。直到16、17世纪航海技术更发达时，才有许多人能够正式登上北美洲，进行土地探索及发展农耕。这些欧洲人发现北美洲遍地都开满了一种长相非常特殊的花朵，由于形状长得很像刺猬，且呈现淡紫色放射状的花瓣，因此被命名为紫锥花。但是当时的他们认为这种植物只是当地的特殊花朵，仅供美观，却无其他作用。18世纪时，这些欧洲人观察到当地的原住民印第安人经常把紫锥花整株捣烂，涂抹在虫咬、蛇咬的伤口，或者在寒冷的天气将它们咬烂，直接吞服。这种奇怪的举动让这些欧洲人非常好奇。在询问以后，得知原来这种生长在北美洲的紫锥花是守护印第安人的神圣之花，代表着生命永续与不朽的神圣力量，具有抗寒、止痛、止咳与驱毒的神奇效果，能让涂抹或是服用的印第安族人可以开创出伟大的文明。从那个时候开始，紫锥花再也不只有观赏的作用，而是被视为一种能够预防及抵抗感冒的神奇草本植物。随着时代的演进，科学家借由着尖端科技，终于找出紫锥花中神奇的成分。这些活性成分证实了紫锥花具有抗寒、止痛、止咳的神奇效果。究竟紫锥花的神奇成分是什么？又如何提供人体有益的帮助呢？让我们来请教研究紫锥花多年的顶尖科学家凯文·葛伦贝克博士来一一说明吧。
In Native American populations, starting all the way back in the 1600s, they would use echinacea for a variety of things, but they would take it internally as in a tea to help out with headaches and different kinds of colds and flu. And they would also use it topically on wounds to help lower the inflammation and help enhance healing. So it's been used for hundreds of years, and that folkloric information was used in the design of current products to be used to help out with colds and flu. It's what makes you feel bad when you have colds and flu. So it helps reduce the inflammation but enhance all the various immune processes in the body, like phagocytosis, where the cells are chewing up invaders, and all the various immune chemicals in the body are enhanced. So that combination of things helps reduce the severity of colds and flu in people. Echinacea there's a variety of things in Echinacea. There's 3 different groups of chemicals that are used to standardize and also tests have shown have an effect. That's glycolic acid, the alkylamides, and the polysaccharides. But most of the evidence shows it's all those things acting together. So when we do an extract, we maintain all those different phytochemicals in the extract to have the best effect in the body. So those are the active ingredients, because we use 3 different components from 2 different species. We use Echinacea purpurea, where we'll use the top part of the plant that's juiced, and then we'll use the roots of the plant from under the ground with an alcoholic extraction. And then there's a different species, Echinacea angustifolia, where we use the roots. So all 3, each of those 3 is a different concentrate that we put together to make the triple guard product. And the reason we do that is they all have different levels of the various active ingredients. The glycolic acid is the marker for the upper portion of the plant, and the alkylamides are the markers for the roots of the plant. And by combining the 3 different ones, we get the most diversity and the best level of those different active ingredients in the product to get the best efficacy we can in the final product. Echinacea, there's been many studies done on Echinacea, and kind of the target has come out to be about the equivalent of 900 milligrams of dried Echinacea. To keep that going for about a 2-week period of time and then stop. And that allows it to work in the body and then gives your body time to re-equilibrate back to normal before you start taking again to enhance the immune system. If you take it all the time, your body gets used to it and stops reacting well. So you take for a couple of weeks, don't take it for a couple of weeks, start taking again for a couple of weeks to maintain your body's defenses in the best possible way.
在大自然中，每种植物都会有因应其生长环境而衍生出不同的植物营养素。这些植物营养素富含着很多营养价值，能够帮助植物的健康生长。纽崔莱透过尖端科技证实，原生在北美寒冷区域、耐干耐寒的紫锥花含有提高免疫力的特殊成分，因此特别在鳟鱼湖农场培育这种传奇植物。让我们请当地的农场经理凯文恩斯特跟我们分享如何培植出最理想的紫锥花呢？
The main crop we grow here is Echinacea purpurea, and we've been growing it for the last 35 years. Since we've grown it for so long, we've got great techniques that we've developed to actually produce it and then to process it. The soils we have here in Trout Lake, as well as the clean water and air that this valley is abundant with, provide the perfect conditions to make that purpurea grow. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, the climate is just perfect for growing Echinacea purpurea. I'll take this plant. Right now you see this field in full bloom. That's because I need seed, so that I have abundant amount of seed to do our planting. I want to make sure it's the right seed, it's the right species, and most important, that it's adapted to this growing location. So we save all of our own seed, and that's what this field will be for, is for seed. Normally, when we harvest it for the product, I won't have as much flower in it, because we know the phytonutrients are higher right before flowering. We know this because we've done extensive studies ourselves at Nutrilite, and as well, we've collaborated with universities all over North America to find out this information. So we know the best time to harvest the product. Now, when I talk about harvesting it before flower, I'm talking about harvesting the whole top of the flower, the stems, the leaves, and the small immature flowers. We'll bring that to our processing facility, and it will get pressed in some equipment that juice it. That juice is then dried down and is one of the components of XXX. The second component in XXX, remember there's a triple, that's 3 things. The second component in XXX is an extract from the roots. So in the fall, usually around October, when this plant is fully mature and getting ready to go dormant for the winter, we take any tops that are remaining and remove them. Hopefully we've already juiced them. Then we'll dig the root up and we'll wash it thoroughly in our root washing equipment. Then we'll bring it to our crop dryers and dry the product very gently until it's very, very dry and stable. And then the product is sent to Nutrilite, where they then extract this with an alcohol water extraction, and they pull out the goodness of that root. So that's the second part. The third component is another root extract, but it's from the other species I talked about, Echinacea angustifolia. So I'm going to dig up a plant here for you so you can see the whole plant. See all these roots. These will get much bigger by the time we harvest this plant. But you can see it's a very fibrous root system on this plant, which is very unique. Most farmers don't have to deal with roots like this. These are very difficult to wash and to process because they tend to hold a lot of dirt and rocks. But like I said before, we've developed a lot of processes just to make this work. So this is the root part that we'll harvest and dry. This is the top part. We'll come through and cut this here. The entire top will be taken to our dryer and dried. And then we'll further process that. But for juicing, we'll come through and we'll cut this. And this entire top part will be run through specialized processing equipment, and it'll be squeezed, and the juice from that plant taken away, concentrated, and finally dried to go into the XXX product.
过去，古印第安人从遍地盛开的紫锥花身上，看见一股不畏寒、不因土壤不利农耕而屈服的旺盛生命力，并将紫锥花应用在抗寒、止痛、止咳与驱毒等各种方面上。借由现代的尖端科技，我们证实了过去古印第安人对紫锥花的处理与应用是非常正确的，令人对古印第安人的智慧深深地感到佩服。纽崔莱透过永续有机农耕的技术，在适合紫锥花生长的鳟鱼湖农场培植出理想的紫锥花品种，借由尖端科技萃取出不同品种、不同部位的紫锥花活性成分，并加以混合来发挥出最高的健康效益，帮助人们迈向极致健康。在诡谲多变的气候或者是季节交替的节令前，食用紫锥花让富含在紫锥花中的植物营养素来提升免疫能力，强化免疫机能，使您不再受到恼人的感冒、咳嗽困扰。